You ever look at a cactus and just wonder, how does that thing not just completely fry in the desert sun? Or maybe you've seen a vine crawling up a wall and thought, what's its game plan? Well, the plants all around us are these quiet little geniuses. They're running some of the most sophisticated survival programs on the entire planet. So let's start decoding some of those secrets, shall we?
This is the absolute perfect way to think about it. I mean, we change our clothes, right? We put on a coat when it's cold, shorts when it's hot. Well, over millions of years, plants have done the exact same thing, but they've done it with their own biology. This isn't about fashion, of course. It's all about survival.
So, in this explainer, we're basically going on a global survival tour. We're going to see how plants dress for the weather, how they conquer extreme dryness, how they manage to thrive in water, and even how they fight these brutal, silent battles for resources. And by the end, we'll piece together this incredible blueprint for survival. Okay, so before we jet off on this tour, we really need to understand the master plan. What exactly is this survival blueprint we keep talking about? The key word here, the one that unlocks everything, is adaptation. It's really just any feature, any characteristic that gives a plant an edge. And this isn't some quick fix. We're talking about the result of evolution, a super slow motion process of tiny, tiny changes adding up over millions, even tens of millions of years to create a perfect fit between a plant and its home. All right, our first stop is one of the toughest challenges a plant can possibly face: living in places where water is unbelievably rare. So let's meet the undisputed champions of dryness. So here we see two completely different plants solving the exact same problem in these brilliant ways. On the left, you've got the cactus. It goes all in on water storage, right? It's got that big, fleshy stem like a living water barrel, and it protects that supply with a waxy coating to stop evaporation and, of course, sharp spines. Now, on the right, the bristlecone pine plays the long game. Its waxy needles cut down on water loss, and get this, each one of those needles can keep photosynthesizing for up to 45 years. That's all about conserving precious energy in a place where you can't afford to waste anything. And just how successful is that strategy? Well, because of these amazing adaptations, a bristlecone pine can live to be almost 5,000 years old. That makes it one of the most ancient living things on our planet. Now that is the power of a good adaptation. And yeah, of course, there's a very practical reason for those cactus spines that goes beyond just saving water. They're a fantastic defense system. They stop thirsty animals from trying to take a bite. It's a simple but very, very effective do not touch sign. Okay, so we've seen the problem of having too little water. But what happens when you've got way too much? Or what if the water itself is the problem, like if it's full of salt? Welcome to life on and in the water. And here we go again. Two very different environments demanding two completely different toolkits. In a fast-moving freshwater stream, the water lily needs super strong roots to anchor itself down and flexible stems that can bend with the current without snapping. But over in a saltwater marsh, the mangrove faces a totally different enemy: salt. So it evolved these deep, sprawling roots for stability in the soft mud, and an incredible built-in filtration system in its roots and leaves to get rid of that toxic salt. Our next stop is the battlefield. Because in some places, water isn't the main issue. Instead, plants are locked in this constant, silent war for food and for the energy that comes from the sun. I want you to imagine this for a second. You're a plant, and the ground you're living in is basically empty. It has none of the nutrients you need to grow and survive. That's the reality for plants living in bogs and swamps. The soil is so waterlogged that things don't decompose properly, which locks away all those vital nutrients. So what do? If you can't get your food from the ground beneath you, where on earth are you supposed to get it? Well, the answer is one of nature's most fantastic plot twists. They get their food from other living things. That's right, these plants became carnivorous. They actually evolved the ability to trap and consume insects to get the nutrients they couldn't find in the soil. From the snapping jaws of a Venus flytrap to the sticky, deadly pads of a sundew, these are plants that literally went on the offensive. But the battle doesn't just stop with nutrients. In a dense, crowded forest, the most valuable resource of all is light. Down on the forest floor, it's like a constant twilight, and survival means you have to win the race up into the sun. And this has led to a fascinating arms race to the sky. Some, like the giant redwoods, have a pretty simple strategy: just grow taller than absolutely everyone else. They also developed this thick, fire-resistant bark to protect that massive investment. But others are way more cunning. They climb.
Ivy uses these little sticky pads. The cat's claw creeper has sharp hooks, and the passion flower literally spins its shoots in circles, searching, feeling for something to grab onto. And to put that grow tall strategy into perspective, the tallest known tree on Earth, a coast redwood named Hyperion, stands at a mind-boggling 116 meters. That is taller than the Statue of Liberty. That is what winning the race to the top looks like. So after this incredible tour of deserts and swamps and forests, what's the big picture here? What is the one thread that connects all of these amazing survival stories? It's this. Every single feature we've talked about, the spine of a cactus, the trap of a Venus flytrap, the incredible height of a redwood, it's all part of a detailed blueprint for survival. And this blueprint wasn't just designed overnight. It was written and edited and perfected by evolution over millions and millions of years, making sure that life can find a way to thrive in almost any corner of our world. And that brings us right back to you, because the next time you're walking outside, I want you to take a closer look. Is the bark on that tree thick or thin? Are the leaves on that bush waxy or are they broad? That blueprint, that survival code, it's written everywhere. What adaptations can you spot in the plants right in your own neighborhood?